Okay, folks, buckle up because today we're diving deep into, this is going to be interesting, the Uzzle.
The Uzzle.
The Uzzle, yeah. Right. You know, the game that's somehow like #1 on Amazon, even though it looks like, I don't know, a preschooler designed it.
Yeah.
So,
it's a head scratcher for sure.
Yeah, you sent this in like, what is the deal with this? What is going on? Is this like a big joke the internet's playing on everybody?
Well, we've got a few pieces of the puzzle here. We've got the Uzzle's website, very, very enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a YouTube tutorial that is so dry it could make paint peel.
Oh, my gosh.
And we've got a lot of chatter on X, most of it confused.
Oh, right.
Oh, and one X user who's convinced that the Uzzle is a ripoff of some other game called Match Madness. So, yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, so let's start with their website, the Uzzle's website. Like, this thing is it's a work of art.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's like every marketing buzzword they could think of. Brain power, screen-free fun, family bonding.
They're really leaning into that educational angle, you know, like arranging these 5 blocks is going to like turn your kid into the next Einstein.
Right. Like who knew? And the testimonials. Oh, the testimonials.
Oh, the testimonials are amazing.
These things are gold. We've got like grandmas talking about how they get like super competitive.
Fiercely competitive grandmas.
Yeah, fiercely competitive. Families are like laughing hysterically. Kids are suddenly like fascinated by numbers.
Yeah.
I feel like they're giving away like a lifetime supply of Kool-Aid with every purchase.
Right. I mean, it's got to be something like that.
Yeah. Oh, and don't even get me started on the compare prices. They've got the Uzzle listed at $39. Next, like these competitor prices, $70, $49.99 from like Walmart and Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Classic tactic. Make it look like a steal.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're doing us a favor. Like, oh, you can pay less for our amazing game?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Okay, so, but what is this game? What do you even do?
Okay, so the how to play section is, like, surprisingly short.
Yep.
So basically, it's, like, super glorified pattern matching. You've got these numbered blocks. You draw a card with a pattern.
Okay.
And then you got to, like, arrange your blocks to match it. First one to yell, get this, ole.
Ole, are you kidding me?
Ole. Grabs the card and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so we're yelling ole.
Yeah.
Now, they couldn't come up with, like, anything. I'm picturing, like, families, like, sitting around the dining room table, politely yelling ole at each other.
It's beautiful. It's wholesome.
Oh, the excitement is palpable. So, like, the rules are so simple. You could probably teach this to, like, a golden retriever.
Pretty much, yeah.
So why is this the #1 game? Are we that desperate for, like, I don't know, screen-free fun, even if it involves yelling ole?
I mean, maybe we all just fell for the marketing, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's something more nefarious at play here.
Yeah. Like, remember that whole Match Madness thing? Yeah. Could this be like some kind of a secret clone of like an underground game?
The plot thickens.
Like, we've got a real mystery on our hands here.
Oh, dude.
So this is where you come in, dear listener. We need you to put on your detective hat.
Put on your thinking caps.
Yeah, and do some digging. What is Match Madness? Like, does this thing even exist? And if it does, how similar is it to the Uzzle? This could be like Watergate, you know?
It could be huge.
It could be huge.
Okay, so let's talk about like Uzzle economics here.
Uzzle economics.
Yeah.
I like.
So we've already established that these guys, they are masters of the compare to pricing strategy, making that $39 price tag look like an absolute steal next to those like inflated competitor prices. But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's always more, right? Like, I'm getting the feeling the Uzzle is like one of those, like those Russian nesting dolls. Like, you open it up and there's just another one inside.
Exactly.
And another one. What's the next layer here?
The expansion pack, my friend.
Oh, the expansion pack.
Expansion pack. For the low price of just $59,
okay,
you can double your Uzzling fun.
Double the fun.
With 2 extra blocks per player and 50 more challenge cards. And of course, they point out that this is a savings of $41.
Oh, of course, a savings.
Compared to buying 2 separate Uzzle games.
Right, because who wouldn't want to spend $118 on 2 sets of numbered blocks?
Exactly, it's a bargain.
It's the deal of a century, people.
Hard to steal.
But here's where it gets really interesting. They say on the website that with the expansion pack, you'll have enough puzzles to last you, wait for it, 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. Like, they're setting the bar high.
That's a decade.
For longevity, right?
Yeah, a decade of Uzzle fun.
Like, what if I get bored after, like, year 7?
Right. What happens
What if I
then?
lose a block? Like, the anxiety.
And if you, like, spill something on the cards.
Right. It's a disaster waiting to happen. I mean, I'm all for screen-free fun, but I don't know if I can commit to a decade
Yeah, 10 years is a long time.
of uzzling.
It is.
Like, I don't know about that. I have a feeling they're banking on people losing interest way before they hit that 10-year mark.
Oh, absolutely. Or maybe they're hoping you'll get so hooked on those first 100 challenge cards that you'll just shell out another $60 for the expansion pack.
Right. Classic FOMO.
Classic FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah. They're playing on our deepest fears.
Exactly.
Like, what if I don't have enough uzzle in my life for the next decade?
Exactly.
Like, oh, the horror. And let's not forget, the website also says that this game is, quote, perfect for all ages.
Oh, yeah. Perfect for all ages. Can you imagine, like, grandma and grandpa battling it out?
Yeah. I'm picturing it right now.
With their 5-year-old grandson, everyone yelling, "Ole!"
Oh, my gosh.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's heartwarming. It's like a Norman Rockwell painting.
It really is. It's the perfect family game night.
I'm starting to think, like, the target audience for this is just people who are easily amused by brightly colored plastic blocks.
Possibly.
Or people who are really trying hard to convince themselves they're having fun.
Yeah.
Even though they'd probably rather be, like, I don't know, scrolling through TikTok.
Yeah, I get that.
But, there's a certain charm.
There is. There's
the uzzle simplicity, right?
Yeah. I mean, in this world of, like, super complex video games, apps, constant notifications.
Right.
It's kind of refreshing. It's analog.
Yeah.
You can play it without Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about your battery life. And maybe, just maybe, it can actually, like, bring people together.
Yeah, maybe there's, like, a little bit of genuine connection happening.
Yeah, maybe.
Over these magical numbered blocks.
Possibly.
But let's be real here. I think the reason we're all so fascinated with Yuzzle is because it's just so bizarre.
It is. It is bizarre.
It's like, you see a car accident, you can't look away.
It's a train wreck. You can't help but watch.
It's a train wreck.
Right.
And we can't forget about, the elephant in the room, the match madness lurking in the shadows.
Right. We haven't forgotten about that.
We got to address that. Is this a shameless ripoff? Or is it just, like, I don't know, parallel thinking?
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike. In the world of, like, simple matching games?
Right.
Like, what's the deal? This is the question that's keeping me up at night.
Me too.
Well, we did some digging. The mystery of match madness deepens.
Okay.
It's like shrouded in secrecy.
Hi.
You can only find, like, whispers of it on, like, obscure internet forums.
Interesting.
Some people are saying it's this, like, legendary game of skill and strategy.
Yeah.
Others are claiming it's just a cheap knockoff of Connect 4.
So we've got a whole spectrum of possibilities here.
We've got a whole spectrum. The truth is, as always, probably somewhere in the middle.
Right.
But that's the fun part, right?
Exactly.
The mystery.
It's like we don't have all the pieces.
It gives us guess.
Our imaginations can run wild. Is match madness the key to, like, unlocking the secrets of the universe?
Ooh.
Or is it just, like, a dusty box of cardboard squares in someone's attic?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We may never know.
Yeah.
But that's not going to stop us from speculating.
Of course not.
So join us for part 3 as we dive into some of the wild theories surrounding match madness.
Okay.
And try to figure out if the Uzzle is truly guilty of, like, intellectual property theft.
All right.
Or just, riding the coattails of a similar concept. All right. So we've spent the last 2 parts, like, taking apart the Uzzle, its marketing, the whole match madness thing.
Yeah.
Right. But we're still left with, like, the biggest mystery of all.
Yeah.
Why is this game so popular? Like, what is going on?
I know, it's crazy.
It makes no sense.
We've talked about the nostalgia thing, the screen-free fun, all the marketing tricks.
Right.
But honestly, I'm still stumped. It's like the whole world just decided to, like, collectively lose their minds.
Yeah.
And embrace this game that's about as exciting as, I don't know, watching grass grow.
Yeah. It's like watching paint dry.
Right.
It's so weird. You know what's funny? We've been, like, making fun of this game this whole time.
Yeah.
But, like, part of me part of me actually kind of wants to try it now.
Oh, really?
Like it's like that car crash you can't look away from.
Oh, I get it.
Like it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But you got to see it.
You're drawn to it. There's something about the absurd that just it draws you in. Maybe that's the secret to the Ezel's success.
Right.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like we all need a good laugh.
We do. Speaking of ridiculous, did we talk about the part on their website where they say it like improves your cognitive skills?
Oh yeah. That's my favorite part.
Like arranging those 5 blocks is like the key to unlocking your inner genius.
Right. Like it's brain training.
Brain training. They've got a whole section on there about the educational benefits of the Uzzle.
Filled with like all these vague claims about problem solving, critical thinking.
Like I'm pretty sure you could get the same benefits from like, I don't know, staring at a blank wall for 5 minutes.
Probably, yeah. maybe that's it. Maybe that's the secret. Like the Uzzle is so boring.
Yeah.
It's so mind-numbingly simple that your brain is like forced to create its own entertainment.
Oh, like a sensory deprivation chamber for your intellect.
Exactly.
Whoa. Okay, I think we're giving the Uzzle a little too much credit here.
You're right. At the end of the day, it's just a box of plastic blocks with numbers on them. But somehow it's a cultural phenomenon.
It is.
It's like the world's most elaborate inside joke.
Yeah, maybe it's a social experiment, like to see how gullible people are.
Ooh.
Like I'm picturing these marketing executives in a boardroom somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like dying, laughing, watching the sales numbers go up.
They're buying it. They're actually buying it.
Those fools will buy anything. Okay, but we can't forget about Match Madness.
Right.
The mystery continues.
The shadowy figure behind the Uzzle.
So we did like a lot of research. Okay, we went deep
down the rabbit hole.
Deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And it seems like Match Madness exists in this weird like quantum state.
And quantum state.
Where it's like both real and not real.
Okay.
Depending on who you ask.
Oh, I've heard of this.
We found these forum posts, people like swearing by it, saying it's like the greatest game ever. Mm-hmm. And then others are like, I think I played that once when I was a kid, maybe.
It's like trying to find Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster.
It is. Like
the evidence is out there, but it's always just out of reach.
Always just out of reach. Maybe Match Madness is the ultimate game.
Ooh.
Like it's so good it transcends like the physical realm.
Right. It's like a myth.
It's a myth, yeah. Or maybe it's just a game that like nobody ever really cared about.
And it's just sitting in somebody's attic.
Collecting dust. Mm-hmm. Either way, the fact that we're even talking about this just shows how weird the Uzzle is.
Yeah.
It's like this game that makes you question everything.
It really does.
And it makes you like obsessed with a game that might not even exist.
That's powerful.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
So where does this leave us? We've talked about the marketing, the gameplay, the cultural impact, the mythical origins.
We've been on a journey.
And I think we can all agree the Uzzle is a complete enigma.
An enigma wrapped in a riddle.
But we can't deny it. It's strangely appealing.
It is.
It's like this mirror, reflecting our own absurdity.
Yeah.
Like reminding us that even in this world where everything is like technology and information overload,
right,
we can still be entertained by like the silliest things.
The simplest thing.
Maybe that's the lesson here, right?
Maybe it is. Maybe sometimes we just need to like embrace the absurd, laugh at ourselves a little bit, find joy in the unexpected.
Unexpected.
Or maybe we should all just buy the Uzzle.
Maybe we should.
And see what all the fuss is about.
Well, dear listener, the choice is yours.
It is.
Will you succumb to the Uzzle siren call? Or will you resist? Only you can decide. Whatever you do, please don't yell "Ole" in public.
Yeah, that's just weird.
It's just weird. All right, folks, that's it for our deep dive into the Uzzle. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay entertained.
And now for a non-sponsored, totally fake advertisement from this episode's non-sponsors.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive is going to be a fun one. We're looking at something that's going to make you kind of scratch your head and go, wait a minute, is that a real thing?
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah. Right. So it's this product
Okay.
called the Clearly Impossible Puzzle.
The Clearly Impossible Puzzle.
Yeah, so it's 500 pieces of clear acrylic.
Yeah.
And they all come together to form, well, nothing that you can actually see.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
Right. I mean, when I first saw this, I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, where's the picture?
Yeah, I mean, the name itself, the Clearly Impossible Puzzle,
Right.
already tells you what you're getting into.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly impossible.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like a challenge, right?
It is a challenge.
Yeah.
And they lean into that humor, like, hard in the product description.
Oh, yeah.
They call it a clear conundrum, which, I mean, fair enough.
Makes sense.
And the best gag gift,
Oh, I can see that.
like, can you imagine giving this to, like, a friend who loves puzzles? The look on their face?
Yeah, just like, what is this?
Exactly.
So are they serious?
Right. And the humor, I think, is really clever.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you stop and look and be like, wait, is this for real?
Right. Is this a real puzzle? Is it a joke? Or is it some kind of like weird mind game?
And then they throw in this detail about
That's
sneaky false pieces.
sneaky false pieces.
So they're like corner pieces and edge pieces, but they're scattered throughout the puzzle.
Just to mess with you.
Completely mess with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they even call it a puzzle skill test.
Skill test.
What skill are they testing? Your patience,
Yeah.
your sanity. I don't even know.
I mean, it's like they took everything we know about puzzles
Right.
and just threw it out the window.
Yep. You can't rely on the picture.
Nope.
You can't rely on the edges.
Right.
You have to come up with a whole new approach.
Totally new strategy.
But then they also talk about it like it's this really high quality, carefully crafted product.
Oh, really?
Like they say 500 one-of-a-kind pieces, laser cut with precision from crystal clear 3mm acrylic.
Wow.
It's like, okay, you made a ridiculous concept,
Yeah.
but you took the ridiculousness very seriously.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of what makes this so appealing. Right? It's that combination of like high quality and just complete absurdity.
But you almost have to respect it.
I know. It's like you have to admire the dedication.
Speaking of dedication,
Yeah.
let's look at some of these customer reviews.
Right.
Because they are amazing. One person said,
Okay.
it's a fantastic gift to challenge a puzzle lover and enjoy their struggle.
Oh.
And I mean, that's pretty much what you're in for. Right?
Pretty accurate.
You're not just buying a puzzle.
Right.
You're buying the experience of watching somebody try to figure this thing out.
I like that, the experience of the struggle.
And there's definitely a little bit of schadenfreude in there too.
Oh, for sure. Like you get to watch them suffer.
Right.
You can kind of enjoy it a little bit.
Okay, but this next review, I mean, this one just cracked me up.
Oh, yeah.
They just wrote, still have not received the packet.
Oh.
I kind of hope they never do.
Right.
Like the anticipation
Yeah.
has got to be more fun than actually doing the puzzle.
I think you're right. The idea of it is almost better than the thing itself.
Right.
Like it's like that with a lot of novelty gifts, right?
Yeah.
The surprise, the anticipation, it's all part of the fun.
It's kind of like the lead up to a magic trick.
Oh, yeah.
You're more impressed by the idea that
That's
someone's going to do something impossible
Right.
than like the actual mechanics of the trick.
And speaking of magic tricks,
Yeah.
those sneaky false pieces they talked about, it's like misdirection, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like magicians use misdirection to draw your attention away from what they're really doing.
Yeah.
And these false pieces, it's like they're messing with your expectations.
Totally.
Leading you down the wrong path.
And you know what else messes with our expectations? The fact that this puzzle is made in the USA.
Oh, yeah.
Like, does that make it more confusing or less confusing? I don't even know.
Well, you know, you've got the stereotype of American ingenuity, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, we're all about finding solutions to problems.
Yeah, practical solutions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you've got this puzzle,
Right.
which is like the ultimate impractical solution
Yeah.
to a problem that doesn't even exist.
It's like a commentary on consumerism almost.
Yeah, it's like we're so good at making things
Right.
that we even made a puzzle you can't solve.
But you know, all jokes aside,
Yeah.
this thing really does make you think about like what we expect from a puzzle.
Right.
You know, we're so used to having a picture to guide us.
Yeah. The edges give you a starting point.
So what happens when you take all that away?
You have to think differently, right?
Yeah.
You have to use different parts of your brain,
Totally.
like spatial reasoning.
Right. Pattern recognition, maybe even some intuition.
That's a whole different kind of challenge. Absolutely. And I think that's what makes it so interesting.
It's like they took this centuries old pastime and turned it into something completely new.
Totally new experience.
And they're not afraid to have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the product description, they say it's for the master puzzler.
The master puzzler.
But I think they're being ironic.
Yeah.
Because how can you be a master at something with no rules?
Exactly. It's like they're saying, if you think you're so good at puzzles, try this.
Prove it.
It challenges our whole idea of what a puzzle is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it reminds us that sometimes the most fun comes from just embracing the absurd.
And laughing at ourselves when we inevitably fail.
Oh, for sure. I mean, come on.
Right.
Who's actually going to solve this thing?
I don't know. Maybe that's not the point.
Maybe not. Maybe it's about the journey, not the destination. That's a good point. The laughs, the frustration.
Right.
The shared experience of just being completely bewildered.
It's about proving that even in a world of logic and order, there's still room for a little bit of chaos.
A little chaos.
And that chaos can be pretty funny. It's funny because this whole conversation about a clear puzzle, it's kind of making me think about other puzzles in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Like sometimes work projects feel like that.
Oh, I can see that.
You know, just a bunch of clear pieces, no instructions, and just this vague sense of impending doom.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
And it makes you think about puzzles in general, whether it's a jigsaw puzzle, a crossword, or even a tough problem at work.
Right.
There's something satisfying about taking this jumbled mess and creating order out of it.
Yeah, there's a sense of accomplishment when you finally put that last piece in place.
Especially if it's a clear piece.
Even if it's a clear piece.
But it just blends in with everything else.
But with this puzzle, it feels like it's more about the process than the finished product.
The journey, not the destination. Yeah. The laughs, the frustration, all those moments where you're like, how am I supposed to do this? I think that's a good lesson for life in general.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to let go of the need for a perfect outcome and just enjoy the process, embrace the challenge, the absurdity.
Even the frustration.
Yeah, because sometimes those are the experiences that make life interesting.
So is the clearly impossible puzzle just a brilliant marketing ploy?
Who knows?
Is it some kind of commentary on American consumerism?
Maybe.
Is it a test of our sanity?
It could be all of the above.
I think it's all of the above.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
It's a puzzle that makes you think, makes you laugh.
Yeah.
And maybe even question your own perception of reality.
Which I think is pretty refreshing.
Right.
In a world that often takes itself way too seriously.
I agree. It challenges us to think differently about puzzles. About how we approach challenges in general.
What happens when you break all the rules?
Yeah. Can we find joy in the unexpected?
These are good questions to think about.
Even if you never actually try to solve this clear conundrum.
So would you try the clearly impossible puzzle?
Tough call.
Let us know.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And with that, we wrap up another deep dive.
Until next time.
Happy puzzling, everybody.